Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Jo Ellison. It is the first official week of summer for most kids in our area, but just because school's out doesn't mean the cafeterias close. Most area districts are providing free lunches for all kids 18 and under throughout the summer. The Fayetteville School District serves free lunches every weekday from 10:45 to 1 at Owl Creek School. The district also has a food truck that makes 3 stops starting and stopping at the same times. The district says it will serve about 500 lunches to kids each day this summer.
It's so important to be able to feed kids in the summer because there are a lot of kids that rely on their regular meals that they get at school on a daily basis. So this just continues that routine.
Well, you can find a list of other districts who are serving free lunches this summer on our website at 5newsonline.com. Well, before we get to more news, let's get a check of the weather where you live with meteorologist Zach Scott. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Joe, we've got another chance for pop-up showers and thunderstorms in 5 country. We've been doing this for a week now, and we've seen those thunderstorms fire up every day. Coverage percentages have been on the lower end because the majority of the time it's been very spotty and isolated. There's been times where we bumped those rain chances up because coverage has expanded a little bit more. I think for your Tuesday, we're looking at, again, the lower end, 20-30% chance, as we'll see some spotty showers get going, but a lot of the area, a lot of real estate will likely stay dry as we go through your Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Again, one of those days where with daytime heating, we'll see the late afternoon into the early evening hours, the best chance for some of those spotty thunderstorms. Again, some of those downpours could provide some very heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds. A few pockets of small help to the size of quarters. Upper 80s is where we'll top out northwest Arkansas. 80s into the lower 90s, River Valley into the Ouachitas. Joe?
All right. Thanks so much, Zach. In other news, there are new allegations in the Medicaid fraud case against a Northwest Arkansas psychiatrist, but this time they're aimed at the Arkansas Medical Board. According to our partners at Arkansas Business, the state medical board received 2 complaints about Dr. Brian Hyatt's billing practices, but took 0 action. In the 2 complaint cases, board members say they found no evidence that the psychiatrist had violated the Arkansas Medical Practices Act. The letters were written while Hyatt was serving on the board, and they were released under a request using the Freedom of Information Act. Now Hyatt is under investigation by authorities for fraud and faces lawsuits by 15 former patients alleging they were held against their will during their stay at Northwest Health Behavioral Unit. Hyatt is currently being investigated by multiple agencies, including the DEA. In his resignation letter, Hyatt says, quote, "I will continue to defend myself in the proper forum against the false allegations being made against me." You can read more about this story on arkansasbusiness.com. Well, the NTSB shared an early report after a twin-engine plane crashed in the Boston Mountains. That's south of Fayetteville back on May 17th. The agency says that 76-year-old Johnny Morgan contacted a repair facility to Drake Field to discuss autopilot issues. Morgan was asked to perform ground checks, which had no discrepancies, and was then asked to do a maintenance flight test. That's when they say Morgan noted that the plane still entered a left roll when the autopilot was engaged. Morgan was advised to bring the plane in for repair and not to use the autopilot system. Later that same day, NTSB reported Morgan's plane going down. Morgan was from Oxford, Mississippi, and previously served as a state senator. And we now know the Arkansas Department of Transportation will host a meeting Wednesday at Centerton, the community room there. That's tomorrow. That meeting is from 4 to 7 p.m. They're holding the same one in Cave Springs today. It's about how to make traveling in Benton County easier with what they call a connector study. The study shows that there is a long-term need to improve north and south travel between cities like Gravette, Centerton, Highville, and Tawnytown. As of now, there isn't a direct way to travel between those 4 cities. Now, at these meetings, the crowd is pretty split, with many in the community saying they want an alternate route.
We'll take all the public input here. We'll present that in addition to our findings to the Highway Commission in the next 30 to 40 days. And then all that does, all they will approve likely is that any of that study we can use going forward.
Now, RDOT will host their meeting at the Centerton Community Room tomorrow from 4 to 7. Well, thank you for joining us here for some top stories in your area. I'm Jo Ellison. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. Have a great day.